It's a lot of money.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
It is a building that first hosted football way back in 1966 as EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
Of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. The dump-off gets them only 1, and now you're looking at a 3rd down. A look at the defensive starters now for the Raiders. They were fantastic a week ago in the win over Houston.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because his feeling was good, solid performance, did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely would like to see some improvement in this week's game.
They always want improvement, don't they?
They certainly do.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. Samuel. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
The Broncos send out their punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. And they punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Throwing on 1st down. Freeman. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. They'll run it with Jones. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
6-man. Check girls, check. Hey, Charlie. Mike, 53.
On first down, Freeman. Going to throw right side here, complete. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sidelines thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
The numbers on the ground for Jones last week. 18 carries, 96 yards. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes the leading rusher.
Slam. Leo.
To throw on third down, Freeman. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turning to his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is taken at the 3. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they'll get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. 2nd and 10. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. That catch now puts him on the doorstep of 500. It's his 499th reception. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on third down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, third down conversions. So they got one there.
Ready to break. Check, Mike, 54.
On first down, right back to Lindsey. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Go.
On second down, a run with Lindsey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for third down. From the gun, Samuel. And that is incomplete.
They good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage is coming through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Looking to throw on second down. Freeman. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack.
Hey, Sam off. Check three, go.
On third down, Freeman. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Over 70 yards receiving now for him in this first half alone, as he's got a first down on that last catch. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
56.
On first and 10, Freeman. Open man is Switzer, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
So a first and 10 now in Denver territory at the 47. Operating from the gun, Freeman. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Chris Jones in there for sack number 127 in his great career, moving it past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. And connecting here with DJ Shark. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career. That draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they called Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 21 yards there. A big play on fourth down. This quarterback now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This is caught. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best
and he's in! Touchdown, Raiders! Ronald Jones, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Now, let's not forget that was all set up by the fourth down conversion earlier in the drive.
Would have been a complete letdown if the drive doesn't culminate this way, wouldn't it? If you're going to go for it on fourth down, your intention is to make sure you get a touchdown out of the drive, and that's exactly what they did. Converted, and then converted a second time for 6 points.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays.
And he can't escape, and down he goes.
Now, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Michael Gallup, that's who he was looking for. And now it's third down. Off the play fake. Samuel. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. And he has now hit number 500. Charles, that is his 500th NFL career catch.
Definitely worthy of applause, but I remember when 500 meant you were going to the Hall of Fame. Nowadays, in today's football, 500...
A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
A nice gain of 21 yards. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now the toss to Jones, running right. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Ready.
2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
Well, maybe that can give them a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Pollard. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Tony Pollard, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. And certainly some credit there for that touchdown goes to the offensive line.
They never get the credit they deserve in the stat sheet, but they are the reason that they got the points. Excellent job up front, clearing the way for the score.
The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. A little check down to Lindsey. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Back to throw. Samuel. Washington's got him. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A well-executed 22-yard gain. This quarterback now rebounding nicely after the interception. He's hit 4 straight to start the drive. It's first down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And his kick here is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation...
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones in there for sack number 127 in his great career, moving it past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. This is Jones. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
16 yards on the play. It's now
To throw on third down. Freeman. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. DJ Chark, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Freeman. That's going to be caught. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open. He has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
A drive that time of 6 plays. And it ends with an Oakland touchdown. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has in total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, but maybe some concern.
Yeah, and maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now. We've seen this a few times in this game. That offensive line, just I don't know if you want to call it out physical, out tough, whatever you want to use.
And what people do when that is happening, when they're getting dominated that way, they spread things out a little bit, make it more of a space game, and allow your skill position players to make a few plays out in open field. Take away the physical element, gives you a chance.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot him. So out come the Raiders. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the
plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And now the throw taken in by Chark. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 12 yards that time and an Oakland 1st down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
On 1st down, Jones. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well. Throwing on 1st down. Freeman, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones, make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
All the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Ronald Jones with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And the last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Off play action. Samuel. Got a man open. It's Sutton. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Here we go. 60 yards. I'm 61. Matchbox lights. Deep river.
On first down, Samuel. That's complete to Jake Butt. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
2nd and 9 now. He's got Jake Butt as tight end. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 40.
60 Pittsburgh.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory, right at the 40. From the gun, Samuel, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. He's at the 30, 20. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't...
And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Bradley Chubb in there with pressure yet again. That is the 7th time that they have dropped him here this afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. Back now in the East Bay. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive.
And the Raiders have got him. That
right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And now this throw complete to Washington. That catch good for 5. It's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed and, more importantly, perhaps that first-round bye.
But they have to clinch it, don't they?
Yeah.
That's the key, right? So, in a sense, the playoffs have started. They've got to go ahead and get this thing done. Otherwise, it's a different road, and you really don't want to be at the mercy of other teams and their results. But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. A big run there by Jones. 51 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Run for Pollard. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That good for 22 and a first down. He showed his shiftiness and his explosion to take him all the way down near the goal line.
Love that description, and it creates momentum. Maybe you hand it to him again since he's got it going, or do you fake it to him and throw?
And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll run here with Lindsey. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. It's a gain of 5, and it'll make it 2nd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down. A nice safe throw and a good one.
That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. On 1st and 10, Samuel. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now this throw caught left side. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 27-yard line. Throwing on first down, Samuel. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. They'll find Lindsey here. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
Well, I do have one word for that touchdown for you, partner. You ready?
Yeah.
Cosmetics.
Just makes things look a little better. I don't know. It's like putting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and it's hard to do, too. And the pig doesn't like the lipstick a heck of a lot, but you do like the fact that they're battling down the stretch, still trying to put something on the board, even though this game is over.
By the way, how rude is that to the pig? Look at all the things they give us. Pulled pork, bacon. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. That one looks like he'll throw here. And Freeman lost the football. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Freeman. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 74 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. 2nd and 11. And this will be caught. We'll forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter. And the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
So we had action to the very end of this one. The score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run.